education and by authority in the company.
But in the end of the day, general manager refuses to take back the bonus, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's,
But fortunately or unfortunately, he's not actually running the company anymore, right?
yeah, but he refused, so something has to happen there.
So nobody thinks that public execution is the greatest element? Seems to be.
Because you said in the end of the day, the normal practice will be take back the bonus. So how?
No.
Oh, no, right? Okay.
No, I say in the end of the day, general manager is the who is refusing to do it.
Yeah.
By my limited managerial experience at the time, remember, I'm 35 years old, so different than maybe what I would do today. Maybe I would have done a public execution. Maybe I should have. But you have to worry about precedent, right? Just like in the legal case, right?
Yeah.
So once I set the tone that this is okay to do, forget what the chairman said. He's old, he's losing his mind, just, the boss take a joke once in a while and just let it go, right? And it's not a engineer who's 1 year out of school, right? He's a department chief. He has about 11 other engineers reporting to him. Right? So I need to be mindful of the message that I'm sending for the future. Not because my own personal bonus, just the company's survivability. Right?
So they practically execute.
Better than that.
Better than that.
But before we get to how to fix that problem, strategy. This is their business plan. I went nuts. The first time I saw it, I actually lit it on fire in a conference room. They print out another copy. I lit it on fire. If you print out another copy, then go light the printer on fire, okay? Any of you geniuses study math? Very aggressive sales target, not so aggressive on quality. And quality is the number one edict from the boss. But if I let you keep doing like this, we have this many defects to deal with. Say half the products are sold in the US. I have 5 service centers. Under 20K, 5 service centers. Anyone want to run the math? That's not a service center, that's a factory. Right? I'm going to spend millions of dollars creating service centers to fix this garbage, right? What are you doing here? This has to decrease faster than that increases. Otherwise, my warranty cost per unit goes up. Right? And how to build a brand with that kind of defect rate? Well, that's why writing KPIs is complicated. You need to look at the vision and the strategy and then go backwards and who's most accountable, but the accountability is team-based, right? There's a project manager, there's marketing people, there's the salespeople, there's the accountants who may push you to cut costs before the product design is finished. So there's a system, right? So you have to design that system so there's checks and balances and we force teamwork. I don't want to ask the cost accountant to be the primary responsible person for product quality on an electrical product, right? Because when I have an issue and I get sued, I have no defense. You can click on this later if you want, but we hired a professor from Dartmouth, and the chairman was very focused on these 3 things. So you'll see later the systems were designed around having to multitask and handle different things at the same time. So we don't make one set of rules how you can improve quality, another one how you can be cost competitive, and another one how to promote the brand. They have to work in sync. Right? That's why I said, most well-run companies, the HR team is creating the KPIs, not the individual department managers. The 10-year business plan, just quickly what I did. Having run Sony's engineering team, it was rather easy. But this was super important to the chairman, but I needed to do something very comprehensive. So I need to touch all the facets that can enable the product to really become industry leading. Right? Technology, the design, where to produce it, the supply chain, and how to sell and market it. For you Taiwanese, if you remember your first elected president, actually before he was formally elected, he did something very stupid. His name was Yi Dun-wei. This policy we call Lee's Dun Way. If you want to know why Taiwan went from #1 dragon to #4, starting from 2004, it's this policy. I was working at Samsung, this policy came out, I ripped up my overseas expansion plan. I went to the chairman and he said, 6 times increase on the capital investment in China, even though it's early. Quote, if those idiots in Taiwan don't want to take advantage of China, which is culturally and language-wise is easy for them to operate in, we'll jump in and fill the void. Something called operational excellence. Process, people, and tools. Not complicated if you remember the lessons from earlier. I told the chairman, I'm going to give you a Japanese quality, a Chinese cost. Nobody will replicate it for a long, long time. And we're going to create sustainable structural advantages with the products and with our people. Even if we have to put those people onto another assignment later, they know how to stay on top of an industry. I had a little help. The chairman gave us $100 million from his own pocket to invest in the company. All I needed was the CFO's approval. Done. That money would never hit my P&L. Profit and loss. That's how committed he was to improving. That's the kind of boss you want to work for. So, he had the data company for 8 years before I came, so I knew they were already adept at solutions. So looked at them first. I wanted a long-term training program because I had to change the structure of the business unit. Multimodal talent, because I needed to make a plan for the company to run for 25 years. And I knew we needed some global talent, because I interviewed 5 times. I said, I'm sorry, I don't speak Korean, I don't know how I can do this. He said, Eric, I have 40,000 people who speak Korean very well. I don't think 40,001 is going to solve my problem. I need an outsider who thinks differently, who can guide them to change and move in a completely different direction. I have a lot of Japanese consultants, but as you know from World War II history, Japanese and older Koreans don't play very well right now. So I'm going to use an outsider who's trained by the Japanese. Whatever you want, you got it. How many interpreters do you want? I give you 15 of you. If you need more, I'll hire more. So he ordered a change of the work hours. Before, people would come in early, 9, 10 o'clock, they're still there. After 3 months, he sent his audit team in there. They started writing down your name if you were there after a certain time. Unless you were there because he asked you to be there to do something, you get on the list. The third time you're on the list, gone. Force people to become more efficient. Right? Think outside the box and promote work-life balance. Get home and have dinner with your family. Right? His personal money. Right? We send 50 people overseas to top universities, Ivy League schools, Sorbonne, any place they wanted to go, whatever